Hello and welcome to VK Punk Wrestling, your new and soon to be recognized hardcore champs for all things wrestling and sports entertainment related. Please give this video a thumbs up and show your support by spearing that subscribe button harder than Braun Breaker on a rampage. Follow it by Superman punching that bell icon so you're clued in when every video goes live. Don't be that guy who misses the main event. I am your host, Vin C. Punk, the loudest mouth in this ring, and welcome to today's show where we're going to be giving our review in our YAYYY signature style for last night's Monday Night Raw from Glasgow, Scotland, where the whiskey flows and the wrestling glows. VK Punk Wrestling, we the one for wrestling content. Okay, before we dive into the chaos, let's tip our spiked hats to our champ and pimp some shiny gold goodies. We have to acknowledge our champion, AK Havoc. I mean, you don't have to acknowledge him, but he is our champ. But AK, mate, you better hold on to that title tighter than a Scotsman gripping his last pint, because I'm coming for it come WrestleMania. It's 25 days away, and I've got my eyes locked on that gold. Because let's be honest, it should have been me from the jump, you sneaky git. So clutch it tight, Havoc. Vin C Punk's storming predictions warfare like a one-man mosh pit to rip it back. Start counting the days, champ. Or maybe start counting your lucky stars. Now let's give some love to our sponsor, shinier than a freshly polished championship belt, Capgo Championship Belts. They're our amazing sponsor. These Mad Labs, I'm sorry, Mad Lads craft the most beautiful wrestling title replicas, and it's not just wrestling. UFC, any title you've ever seen, really. You want something new, something you haven't seen, Abdul is your wizard, and he'll whip up something completely original faster than you can say pile driver. We've even had a title commission for this very channel. It's going to be so dope. But it's not just titles. Capco's got shirts, vests, jackets, gloves and masks, shoes, even a Macho King crown that'd make a real king jealous. They make the best products, and I've snagged so many pieces as I've shown you. The stage is basically a walking Capgo, the set, a walking Capgo billboard. Check my old vids for some of the other loot that's not currently on our set. You can scope their stash at www.capgointernational.com. Their Facebook and emails are on the credit screen, so don't sleep on it. Seriously. This gear is so good, I'd fight a haggis for it. Drop them a visit and say VK Punk sent you. Now, let's crash into Raw. Okay, we get some nice aerial shots of the stadium in Vegas, where WrestleMania will be in just 26 days. Before cutting to shots of beautiful Glasgow, Scotland, where tonight's Monday Night Raw is being held, we get the typical generic open Michael Cole and Pat McAfee run down the card while superstars strut in the arena. CM Punk, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio, Penta and Braun Breaker. Those last two are in the main event, I reckon, for the Intercontinental Championship, because why else would they save those two lads for last? Let's rip into this Glaswegian madness. Right away, we get a lot of dead air again. And by now, you got to know what this means, where announce isn't talking, and they're just showing you the inside of the arena, and there's just nothing. There's no music. There's no talking. Of course, just when you're like, what the hell is going on? John Cena's music hits, man. And he strolls out to a choir of John Cena sucks chants, synced up to his music like they always do. They let this run for a while, and the crowd goes almost all the way through the song before they chill out. Glasgow's got some lungs on them, even though they are not as good as the matches prior to this one on the European tour. But all around, European tour crowds have been amazing. He hops in the ring, mic in hand, smirking like a git, and says, "Is there something on our minds?" He draws the crowd a little after this, saying he could tear any of us apart. No one's safe. Mentions calling out the pathetic kid last week, and says that the whole universe loved it. All right, this cues heavy FU chants from the crowd, or FU Cena chants from the crowd. Louder than a bagpipe solo. He claims he always tells the truth, which is better than their profanity. calls him out for memes of the kid, says they're all horrible people. Fair. They're proving it. So we're gonna learn how to deal with the misery that we've caused, which causes shut the F up chance. He says it all makes this so easy. I've been studying you Muppets, and I know more about you than you do. You're sad. He calls Glasgow an experiment. I gave you everything pretty much. The crowd hits him with a what chant, and he even gets them because he speaks rhythmically like he's drawing on the what chants. And then he says, if I speak in a rhythmic tone, you'll say what? And the whole crowd goes, what? Man, he continues. He says again that we've made this so easy because we want to matter. Then he dives into a story. 2005, he introduces the best belt in company history, depending on how you feel about it. The spinner belt, the one that looks like a rapper's bling. And we ate him up, called him stupid, dubbed it a toy, but it's not. I know I just called it rapper's bling, but it's a title that represents the champ. He says that the WWE Universe felt disrespected when he introduced it, and it's our biggest mistake because it's all he needed to know. He promises to ruin wrestling for everyone, pretty much claiming that he's going to bring the belt back at Mania. No one will remember Ric Flair. Promises it twice and says he'll be the last real champ ever in WWE, and there's nothing that we can do about it. But wait, because right then, of course, Cody Rhodes' music hits. The entrance drags on, just like a Cody Rhodes entrance always does. Longer, crazier than a drunk Scotsman stumbling home. If you skip a whole minute ahead, he's still there just posing like a peacock. Cena looks like this is all pretty crazy, but we all knew that Cody was going to come down, right? The crowd chants for Cody. Finally, Cody says, "What'd you say?" Asks if Cena, he tells Cena, "You don't have to take the belt from the fans. You have to take it from me." He says, "You're maybe the most dangerous version of Cena, but you made a mistake saying that to the fans." We get more chants. Rhodes says he's fought hard for the title, and Cena isn't just gonna take it, and he lies it down like a cowboy in a duel. Cena kind of like dusts off his knuckles a little bit, and then just ducks down and rolls off. Chicken poop heel move. I mean, he turns around to draw a little bit more heat, starts walking to the ring, but then he begs off again, drawing even more heat. Cody goes, "Your right to take the title is the same as my right to keep it. The champ is in the ring. You walk out empty-handed at Mania like you are tonight." So this definitely gets a yay. I'm sorry. I mean, this did its job well. It's not like exciting, like exhilarating. It's more like a lot of heartbreak, but it's not supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to rip your guts out till Cody struts in. And he plays his part pretty damn good too. I just don't think Cody Rhodes is that exciting. Even when he's fired up, I feel like it's very generic and very commercial. I don't really like it. So anyway, it's not that he's bad or terrible, because I don't think that either. This segment had some amazing moments though. Cena's gonna win and resurrect the spinner belt, right? I mean, that's really what we're pushing to, because between this promo and him popping up advertised on the 2 shows after Mania, they're waving a neon sign saying, "Cena's your champ, suckers." He was on fire with how he's going to ruin wrestling. I love this side of John Cena. I cannot get enough of it. He's playing it so well because he seems sympathetic if you really look into it. He's right. He's telling these people that they're terrible, horrible people, and they're screaming F you at him. Right back like a pack of drunk Neds proving his point. I mean, they're just making him right. This is pure gold. And I mean, I can't put it over enough. It's doing great things for Cena. It might not be the Hulk Hogan NWO effect when it's all done, because I mean, what could be? But it could be big, real big. I had some fantasy ideas. I don't know how they work exactly, but if for some reason you can flip them around where I don't know, Cena turns on The Rock and becomes a bad guy, which makes The Rock kind of sympathetic. Or if, I don't know. I mean, that's really the only way it would work. I don't think you can have, unless they both go into a match as heels, um, and only Cena turns in the middle of the match. Because him against The Rock pulling the same, like, Rock Hogan spot where they did that, right? The double turn. Uh, I'd pay to see it. This could go a lot of ways if they don't muck it up, like Cena mucking up a rap battle. So Cole and Wade hype the Raw after show. Stay tuned, you geeks. Send us to a Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Penta Breaker recap. What a highlight. Jey Uso's music hits, though. The crowd's pretty live, yeeting like lunatics. Jimmy dances down when Jay's about halfway. Jay's Mysterio partner, surprise, it's his own twin who looks nothing like him. And I think they look kind of similar. Back from commercial. There's music still pumping. They handshake Cole and Wade. Jimmy's so weird. Cole admits he can't keep up. He's lost, mate. This drags on for pretty long. I wonder if this was to make up for the lost time during Jay's match where he just crushed, what was it? Theory, I think. It was Theory or Waller. I'm pretty sure it was Theory. So they said, hey, we'll just give you a big entrance and we'll give you plenty of time this ring. This week. The bell rings when we're back. Jay runs the ropes early. Chops Theory. Like he's chopping firewood for Glasgow fire. Into a tag. Jimmy, Theory, and Waller get yeeted outside. Jimmy dives like a human cannonball. Waller gets back in. Near fall. Waller keeps pulling these little strings together like a cheap puppet, but gets shut down every time. You go outside. Theory lands a sick-sounding forearm. Theory gets momentum after this. He dominates, he tags out, but Jimmy's stuck and he can't fight out. He tries a suplex on Waller, but still can't get the tag. Back from break, not looking good. Jay finally gets in. Strike Furry, bam, bam, bam. Yeet chants ring out like a punk chorus. Waller blind tags Jay, doesn't see. Gets dispatched of really quick for a near fall. Jimmy goes up top, though. Waller knocks him off like a cat swatting a fly. Tags to both teams. The Usos, they land like this cool pop-up spear maneuver. Man, it was a pretty tight spot. I liked it. And then they hit the 1D for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Gunther shoves Jimmy off the top rope. He enters the ring. Jay turns. They square off. Jay kind of gets a little bit of an upper hand here, but kind of botches and slips with a spear attempt, trips over his own feet. Gunther gets the better, and Jimmy grabs a chair and chases him off. But he's already too late. So, yay. This was a riot. Usos brought the juice here, and Jimmy's weird dancing had me cackling like I was smoking. And Jay's yeet flurry was pure rock energy. That pop-up spear into that 1D, chef's kiss. Tastier than deep-fried Mars bars. Gunther's post-match shove cranked the stakes. Backstage, Judgment Day is chatting to... Well, Judgment Day is with Finn Balor. I think a break's brewing with them. Dom asks Carlito for if he has another apple. And Carlito's like, no, man, just the one. While, I mean, oh, man, I took a picture of it. And I haven't been making thumbnails for the video themselves. I'm sorry, guys. I will get better. But in the background, there's like a little shelf. And you could see there's an apple right on it. And you could see Dominic look directly at it. But then when Carlito says, no, man, just the one, he's like... he did... He didn't miss it. He knew it was there. He looked right at it. This was good. So, I mean, this was, I mean, kind of yay. It was pretty good. It made me laugh. It was good. So next we get Lyra Valkyria shown walking backstage. A video package of her drops. She's out and the crowd's buzzing. Raquel's next. She makes her way to the ring, and when the bell rings, Raquel shows power early. She shows power early. She swings Lyra around, man, like she's tossing a caber at the Highland Games. Uh, Lyra heats up, though, and sends Raquel to the outside. But of course, Raquel counters. Lyra counters the counter, and Hurricane Rana her into the table. She throws Raquel Rodriguez back in the ring. She goes up top, and her Raquel stomps Lyra into the ropes, lands a slingshot jackhammer maneuver, right? Now, I think I've seen Raquel do this before, but the way she did it tonight was just really slick. I think that slingshot jackhammer has got some weight to it. I think it'll be a pretty good normal move for Raquel's move set. She misses her twisting elbow drop bomb from the ropes, but Lyra lands a leg drop for a near fall. Raquel powers up, corkscrew elbow bomb, but hits it this time for a near fall. Lyra goes up again. She's caught by Raquel, who puts her up into a vertical suplex position. Lyra counters that into a DDT and like rolls up. She rolls up Raquel, or no, she just pins her, but she's too close to the ropes, and Liv puts her foot on the ropes. After that, Raquel, I think she caught Lyra again, and she puts her up for the Tejana bomb, but then Lyra just like rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. I mean, post match, the Judgment Day women attack Lyra, and Bayley sprints out for some reason to help. The classic "Hey Bayley" chants start as they always do when they're overseas. I love it. This stuff, seeing how much like the European fans really love Bayley is great. I love to see it. I love those chants. It's cool. So yay! This match had a lot of action. Making Raquel look strong all match was nice. It was a good thing. She was tossing Lyra like a rag doll and could be heading back to the top of the card. Good for her, though, because she's tougher than a haggis sandwich. Lyra reversal spots on Raquel's feats of strengths were slick, and it seems like that's what the whole match was. Lyra didn't really have any domination in the whole match. Raquel would just power her up, and would power up with her, and she would just reverse it somehow. It seems like that was the story of the whole match. And then the roll up I thought was kind of weird. But Raquel put the work in well. Was there a wardrobe snap? I don't. It was pure chaos anyway. No boo to this. This was really good. Oh, I'm sorry. Yay! So now we get the announce table. Pat McAfee and Cole plug a kilt maker in Scotland, where Pat McAfee was renting the kilt he was wearing from. They hyped the clash in Paris. Video package recaps the Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley story. It zooms in on Pierce, 2 signatures needed from last week's daft signing. Adam Pearce is in the ring, addresses Rhea's scribbled signature, certainly isn't binding. Yells it's not going to go Rhea's way. No rematch now. It's Io and Bianca. No matter how much we boo, boo all you want, you wee nads. Io's music hits, and she says, I'll take on both of them strictly because I'm the champ. Pierce says, I'm aware and thanks. And then before he can really spew any more out, Bianca's music hits. She gets in the ring, and she has the opposing theory. I don't think Rhea should be in the match. Pierce starts to talk once again, but then Rhea's music hits. It's like nobody cares about Pierce, man. She says she doesn't care about Mania. She'll run through whoever. Some dialogue explodes. Bianca mushes Io again. And, I mean, how many times are we going to do this? Io needs to kick some ass. Excuse me. So next week it's Rhea and Io. The winner to Mania to face Bianca breaks the Bianca Belair. This all breaks down because Adam Pearce leaves the ring, and I mean they all just kind of attack each other, but in the end, Bianca stands in the ring while the other two are on the outside. So certainly a way to progress the story, like a soap opera with better hair. Next week, Rhea gets her rematch against Io, gonna be fire as well. But if you know WWE, this will get chucked out for some daft reason. Pierce will have no choice but to make Io versus Bianca versus Rhea at Mania because the match that was gonna decide who was the champ gets thrown out. Starting to go in a positive direction though after that contract signing blunder. Out of the tailspin now. My idea is the match next week gets thrown out. Neither loses clean. The title stays. This forces Pierce to add both, even though he's stomping his feet like a toddler and says he won't. Makes sense aside from him kind of eating his own words about not giving Rhea what she wants. It's classic WWE logic, however. Okay, so we get a video package for El Grande Americano, right? He vanished, now he's back. Backstage, the LWO and Chad Gable, the LWO is backstage with Adam Pearce when Chad Gable walks in and hands a doctor's sick note. Basically says, sorry lads, El Grande, the new guy, can take my spot though. LOL. Dragon Lee's in, Americano enters, and the match kicks off after the break. Americano's on top with Chad Gable style wrestling, of course. Technical. Sends Lee outside. Lee sends him out, like Lee gets back in and sends him out and then hits a dive. He tries to yank the mask off, but the ref stops him like a buzzkill. The action spills to the apron. Americano back suplexes Lee to the floor from the apron. Wow. Cole slips and calls him Gable. We go into break. Back on, Lee rolls up Americano. There's some chops. Strike exchange into a German suplex from Lee. Americano sends Lee flying into the corner. Looked amazing, like really threw that guy. Really cool stunt there. Lee reverses a moonsault into a power bomb for a near fall. The trio woe. Lee's mask comes off. Can't tell if this was planned or not. He tried unmasking Americano earlier, but it did look like a botch. Americano seems to audible and just puts the ankle lock on real quick to make Lee tap out while he's covering his face because there's nothing he can do. So yay. If absolutely nothing else, this was fun. If that last part was botched and may have cost us a couple minutes, then it is what it is. But it overall was still good. Chad Gable's obviously under the mask this week. He says thank you and not gracias. Cole calls him out as Gable, LOL. Smoother than a drunk Scotsman pickup line, man, I'm telling you. Few missteps adapting to this lucha style, bound to happen. But his first go around at it, he did it pretty well. Not surprising, because Jad kills everything. Even with duds like Shorty G or early American Alpha Academy. He plays this heel well, though. Backstage sick note bit. That was gold. Like finding a fiver in your kilt, I guess. Action was fired despite hiccups. Getting into this story now, it's starting to heat up and it's starting to build more interest. I'm starting to get more invested in it finally. Okay, so next we get a video package recapping the Seth Rollins CM Punk Roman Reigns story. It seems like they really like highlighted where Punk's favor from the wise man is teased. Punk's out, the crowd chants, sings. Not as, like I said, not as loud as the rest of the Euro stops, but definitely louder than a lot of American stops. It's clobbering time, of course. He makes his way, and we go to break. When we come back, a sneak peek at CM Punk on Stephanie McMahon's new podcast. When we cut back, he's in the ring. The crowd champs. He panders to the crowd a lot, but says he's in a bad mood, grumpier than a Scotsman who ran out of whiskey. Talks about his road to WrestleMania, losing the big events that secure a spot. Uh, brings back that AEW jab of "I work with children." I don't see why he had to throw the shade, but I mean, it is what it is. He says Roman and Seth take it personally, but for him, it's just business. The wise man is not just Roman's wise man. He wants a contract signing tonight, not Friday. He doesn't want to wait, wants it official ASAP. However, the other two aren't really here. Neither's ever beaten him without the help of the other, and he'll take both out at WrestleMania. So, yay. Oops. Oh, that's fun. I pressed the wrong button. That's fun. So anyway, yay. Wasn't as good as it could have been. Punk did the best he could without anyone to bounce off of. He's good with the mic. He sustained well, even if it was one of his best. Not as much fire as in the recent weeks. More like a smolder that had a little blaze. But loved the AEW I work with children callback. Like I said, didn't need to throw shade at him, but it was to the point, I guess. Hinting the favor, Wise Man leading him to Roman. Starting to flesh out a little bit here. The triple threat's cooking, man. I mean, it's definitely gonna happen. We're already aware of it. Okay. So Logan Paul gets a camera photo calling out AJ Styles for next week. Bring your ponytail, Grandpa. The announce team runs down what we know so far about next week's card. And then we go backstage to Kathy Kelly with Braun. What'd you think about Dom approaching Penta for the Judgment Day? Braun says that doesn't concern me none because the dogs are barking in Glasgow and that's why I'm going to win tonight. LOL. He's going to win simply because the dogs are barking in Glasgow. So we go into a break, but then when we come back, we get entrances for both the guys. The IC title to in-ring intros. Some back and forth early on. Braun runs the ropes fast, clotheslines Penta, bam. Hurricane Rana botch sends Braun to the wrong side of the ring. Excuse me. So he corrects it like a pro, I guess. Kind of rolls out to the other side. He does his long jump spot from the apron to the table, which was, wilder than a Glasgow stag do. We go into a break. When we come back, there's a strike exchange. The Judgment Day has showed up at ringside. Braun's spear was caught. Penta with the super kick to interrupt that. Sets for a driver. Braun kind of reverses, sends him into ropes, so he hits a sling blade instead and sends Braun out. He goes to run and do like a tope suicida, but he's caught by a Braun breaker punch. Both in the ring, Braun lifts. Penta does a backstabber out of this. Carlito seems all impressed because the backstabber's Carlito moves. He calls for the destroyer, but Braun catches him into a military press knee drop. Penta fights top rope. Braun fireman carry. Penta escapes. Apron to top Hurricane Rana. Tope to Braun outside. Back in a Mexican destroyer for a near fall. Convincing as hell. Penta sets the driver. Hand signals. Braun he sets the Penta driver, and then while he's about to do it, he lifts his hand up to do the Zero Meadow hand signal, and Braun fights out of it. They go up top. Braun hits a Frankensteiner, pulls down his straps. JD jump up. Carlito eats a spear. Dom attacks Braun right like right in front of the ref. So there's a DQ. Braun's still the champ. He wins by disqualification. Finn hands the chair to Dom. Dom hands the chair to Penta. Penta rejects, throws it back to Dom, and then super kicks it into his face. Finn looks like I told y'all. So he takes it to Penta. He does the coup, and the Judgment Day stand tall. So once again, yay. This was high-paced, fast-action fun. Had everything. Hard-hitting, like Braun's clothesline rattling my teeth through the screen. Fast fighting, high-flying acrobatics, Judgment Day involvement, and a beatdown that took out both of the competitors in the match. A good way to book around a clean Penta loss or taking the title from Braun. This protected both, slicker than a greased kilt, man. It sets a Mania multi-man ladder match that is so far just projected to happen, allegedly. And this sets up for everybody in the Judgment Day, Finn, Dom, and Carlito, who all have been whining for a shot at the title, can get into the match where it's an every man versus them, an every man for themselves match, and they'll bicker like kids over the last potato chip. Finn's winning would be ace. I'm a mark for him. I have been. I'm sure I've said it plenty of times. But Penta's probably going to snag it, and maybe he should. Really, really good stuff here. Really good stuff. Okay, so that's the end of the show. The show gets a resounding yay with 0 boos for the whole episode. Not a single boo. So obviously the whole show gets a yay. Monday Night Raw in Glasgow, Scotland. Yay. All the segments were great from top to bottom. I particularly enjoyed Adam Pearce throughout the night, kind of being a GM that runs his show, not trying to let the inmates run the asylum. You know what I mean? An amazing show all the way around, not a single boo, so the whole episode gets a yay. This is the first time this has happened, so series achievement unlocked. I mean, lads, that's pretty fun. Okay, so guys, on a more personal note, I'm sorry if I don't seem like myself today. I'm going through some stuff in my own personal life. It's been 2 whole days since I posted a video. I didn't do a preview on Raw, but they've been previewing the events pretty good in advance. So they seem to book pretty far in advance for the European tour. But I am okay. I'm not okay, but that's for a different day. I'm committed to this channel and will put up content as much as possible, letting this be an escape, which is what wrestling is. Wrestling is an escape from the real world into kayfabe, where you can focus on this alternate reality where there's bad guys and heroes and anti-heroes and just regular people, comedians, and good has the most triumph, mostly at least in the end. Unless you're a heel fan like me, there's so much great inspiration to be found in wrestling, and I don't want any of you to ever not see that. Okay, there's so much that you can draw positive from wrestling, even if you don't like the heel turn. His hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up catchphrases are positive words to live by. Cena really had such a great message with his face character, and that guy, now it's like suck it nerds or whatever, but I mean, all of the hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up, they are so meaningful that I actually have them hidden in Japanese. I can't tell if I'm facing the camera or not, or if you could see. That's the never give up. I got one of them up here and one of them over here. I still got one more to add. I go in for a tattoo this Saturday though, so that should be fun. Um, so I have the never give up, hustle, loyalty, and respect buried in Japanese lettering on that arm, you know, because I'm fancy like that. I also have the samurai head that was based off of the OC logo. Of course, it's not exactly the same, but it is very similar. Because this arm is more neo-traditional Japanese stuff, while this one is more classic traditional. um, so on more inspiration, when EC3 got fired from WWE, he started a promotion called Control Your Narrative, and I actually went to a Control Your Narrative show in Orlando. I got a picture with EC3 and Big Braun Strowman, or well, just the monster, I guess, Braun Strowman. Control Your Narrative is such a powerful idea. Um, the fact that he didn't like the Vince McMahon era and not being able to control his own storyline or whatever, so he went out and he created a whole promotion based off of that idea. Control your narrative. I had two of their shirts. One of them got ruined. The one that I actually got at the show, unfortunately, not the black and white one you can buy online. So I was a little upset about that. But I mean, it's so inspirational. Even the Miz is very inspirational. His whole "I'm awesome" gimmick, that self positivity and knowing your worth. You know, and I know I'm not in a good place. Like, and my vibe is a little off right now. But I mean, that's amazing stuff. And the same thing with Roman saying he's greatness among you or in God mode. Having such a positive outlook on oneself is so important. Okay, there's plenty more examples I can go through to show you how inspirational this business truly is. And I will one more time at the end of this video before I sign off. All right? But listen up, guys. Because I know what it's like to go through the hardest time of your life. I'm kind of there wading through the muck right now. Mental health is a very serious thing. So please make sure that you take care of yourself in that manner. Don't let it sneak up on you like a heel turn, guys. Sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it's devastating. But strength is based off of how well you bounce back from failure, and not just how you succeed. But bouncing back from failure is succeeding. It takes a lot of energy to process things like this. Uh, so if you got out of bed today and did something, or even just laid in bed and watched Netflix all day, you know, binging like a champ, I'm proud to see you here, and I'm happy that you're here. Give yourself a yeet for me. If you're not feeling well today, I encourage you to reach out to someone who you know is always there for you, like your own tag team partner. And if for some reason you don't feel like you have that kind of people in your life, I'll never turn down somebody in need. You know, please hit me up on social medias. I've got Facebook and X that I check a lot. The VK Punk page, or of course, me. You can find Vin C Punk. You can reach out to any of those pages if you're ever in an emergency and you have no one to talk to. And I promise you, I will answer as soon as I get it to do what I can to help you. The Vin C Punk page on Facebook is the person page, not the page, but that's going to change soon, but I'll let you know. As of right now, it's the Vin C Punk person page. Both of the pages have a weird picture of when I was DJing and stuff. So anywhere you can find VK Punk Wrestling or Vin C Punk. I don't think there's anybody else with that name out there. Just always remember what the bad guy Scott Hall said, that hard work pays off. Dreams do come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Rest in peace, Razor. You've saved me so many times with this quote. After knowing how well you did and how far you went and how much you went through, man, you're a legend rising from the ashes, and still you're reaching people. But that's it for tonight, guys. Sorry this video is so late. It's like I forgot my car. But I'll be better from here on out. I promise. I'm going to start building a new studio soon, and that'll be nice. It's going to be really dope, decked out with all the stuff that you see in this background. and in the background from when I'm in the other studio, or you know, not the studio, but my living room where we do the live videos. It's gonna have all my wrestling paraphernalia and gear, and I have a lot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic right there. But I am Vin C Punk, and this is VK Punk Wrestling, and we the ones for wrestling content. Catch you next time. Stay tuned. You know, stay loud, guys. All right. Deuces, ooses.